Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Age of the Primes Maximal Big Convoy. So yeah, definitely dig this figure. Was kind of one of those ones that I had always kind of wanted a version of Big Convoy, but never really got around to it. Although I did actually end up getting the Encore version like right before this one, and then it actually arrived broken, and then I had to wait for a replacement. But that's not what we're here for. But yeah, we'll start with a quick look at the box. And we do have his mammoth mode there, and some artwork of him there in the back. Got our Prime statues there. Got more of that mugshot there. Then just on the top is just his name, and then on the bottom we got our legal jargon. And then on the back we do get our product shots. So that's it for the box. And we do get our lovely instruction booklet. So I'll take a quick look at all of that. So there's that. And yeah, here we have the figure itself. And yeah, I do dig it. And I'll be honest, I've seen at least a few people saying like the old one was better. I definitely prefer this one. Really, my biggest complaint with this one is I feel like the Tompas are just way too small. But we will get to that a bit. But otherwise, I just feel like he fits together better. He just feels a lot more solid, especially like in beast mode. But you know, the old one's not terrible. I just really prefer this one. But we do get some nice details here. We do get that maximal symbol there on his chest. You do get the rocket details on the sides of the mammoth head, and you can rotate these around. They're on a couple different hinges, so you can position those how you want. The tusks are separate pieces. I do kind of wish that they had the pegs on the tusks, not the port, so that he could like hold them as weapons, but that's not what they did. But yeah, those are another thing you can do. You do have some nice gold here on the legs and on the shoulders. Nice head sculpt. I do like the head sculpt. I should probably rearrange my little tripod here. Hold on. Let's see. So I can get this a little closer. But yeah, it does have a nice head sculpt with a little bit of that. I think that's like gold. It might be like a pale green, but he's got some nice paint there on the eyes. I do kind of like how these like horns almost sort of resemble mammoth tusks themselves. I think that's kind of neat. But yeah. And we do get a few accessories. We do get his blaster, which you can stick in his hand. And we do get also the missiles that were from the original. Obviously they don't launch out of anything, but you can have him hold them in his hand. They do have a peg here and on the other side, so they almost look like little like pistol-sized crossbows, if you ask me. And you can fit them onto some of the side ports. On the original, they had like chunks of the mammoth where I think it was on the lower leg where the missile launchers were. You can store these both in mammoth and robot mode right here on this little port here, and he can transform with them there. That's usually where I keep them. It's just right there. So you have some options for that. And the blaster is effect compatible here. So you can get some Daka action on there. And speaking of blast compatible, you do have his mammoth legs here, and they can swing around to the front, and they do have a blast port right here. So you do get some options with those as well. It's nice that they're not, you know, just pointless kibble just kind of hanging out there. They actually did at least something with them. I do appreciate that. So yeah. And this sitting in the background, we also have to talk about. This is like the top chunk of his mammoth mode, but this is his large cannon. Now, you can store it on the robot. If we come back here, I just want to make sure that these legs are down a little bit further. There we go. They do kind of have like a small locking point here. But there's this peg on this little armature, and there's this little porthole right here, and you can just sort of plug that on. Sort of have that there. And it's not the most secure, as you can see. It does wiggle around quite a bit, but that will let you store that on his back. But I'm going to go ahead and take these away for now. This does, as mentioned, transform into his cannon, so you're just going to pull the mammoth butt here down, and I don't think it doesn't go up, which I really think it should, but then you want to take these pieces out to the side. They're on little arms. Then you're going to extend this with the trunk on it, and then you bring this whole section down, and there is a little support that will fold out, and then there is the handle right here that's going to fold out, and you can just sort of like extend his arm, sort of get these out of the way. Then you can just plug this into his hand here. Oh, come on. Okay, fighting me because the camera's on. There we go, jeez. And sort of angle that. You pretty much got to have his arm sticking like straight out to really get it to sit around his shoulder, but now you have him firing his big old cannon, and these are blast effect compatible here on the end. There are two barrels. You do need the skinnier pieces if you want to put both in, because they are like right on top of each other, but you can get that going. So that's pretty neat, if you do ask me. Pretty neat. And we're just going to go ahead and take that off and go over his articulation. So to start, his head is on a ball joint. Very nice range of motion there. And his horns do fold in for transformation, if you supposedly do something with that. Again, the missile pod mammoth headpieces are on a swivel here, and then this part here is also on a hinge. So there's that. The shoulders do get a full 360. There is a butterfly joint, and there is actually a backwards butterfly for transformation, so do get a hinge at the bicep. We do get 90 degrees of elbow. We do get a full rotation at the wrist. I totally forgot to mention the tampas. I'll get back to that. We do get 360 at the waist. Again, these are on a swivel, so you can move them around. They do have a locking point back here. You can sort of see there's that tab right there. That's how it locks. So, and we do get forward at hips. We do get back, but there is some collision, so you might have to move stuff out of the way. We do get 90 degrees at the knee, and there is a transformation swivel here at the base of the knee, so you do actually get, yeah, see, there. So you can get some wacky leg poses going on there. Do get also that hip rotation. We do get some ankle tilt, and there is a little bit of up at the foot for transformation. So you get some pretty good movement there. And yeah, I forgot to mention a couple of features. He does have the tonfas on both arms, and again, I do think they're a little bit small. They barely reach out past his fist. DNA did just announce their new kit that's going to come with some bigger ones, although apparently they're not going to be able to fold away, so mixed feelings on that. But yeah, he does get tonfas on both arms, and I think it's cool that they added, at least something in there, both back then and, kept it in now, because it's nice to have something hidden away in those, little gap areas. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously we've got to mention his matrix. His chest does open. And he's got a very bulky matrix compared to a lot of others. Done up in some nice gold with a big red gem there in the middle. Nothing on the back, but it does look very nice. Go ahead and put that back and close that up. And I think that's everything for the robot mode. So we'll just do a couple of quick comparisons. Here he is with Kingdom Optimus Primal. There's that. And here he is with Legacy Leo Convoy. This is the Hasbro version, so there are those. And I can't remember if his main villain was Magmatron or if it was the Beast Wars Galvatron, but I don't have a Galvatron for that. But here he is with the OG Beast Wars Megatron, just for some scale there. Anyway, I think we can go ahead and move on to transformation now. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So first we are going to put his horns in there like so. And we are going to bring this up, and you can see there's sort of a little cup here. You want to turn his head around, and that's going to nestle in there between those. And, before we do that, we do want to make sure these are facing like this. So that way, bring them over, we can fold them together, and you can see there are 2 tabs and 2 slots. So we can put his head together. Get those tusks out of the way, just like that. And then we are going to come here and open up these and just rotate these legs forward and forward, just sort of leave them out to the side for now. Then we are going to take his arms and use that backwards butterfly to move them backwards, and then we want to rotate the arms so that the fur sections are facing outwards, and then we can bring this forward, and this gray tab is going to go into this slot like so. Make sure that his waist is actually straight, and like so. And then for the legs, we are going to pull this out to the side, and we want to wiggle this and untab this post here, and we can fold this heel piece in, and you can see that's where the post goes. Then we want to open up his shin like so, and then we're going to fold that foot up and close that back up, and that is going to lock the mammoth foot into place. Then you kind of want to bend that knee and use that to rotate it. Come on, because you want the leg in this position with the robot thigh facing forward, but using this hinge and this swivel to bring the mammoth foot into place. And then we're going to rotate this forward. You're going to flip this back, and then bring this around, and it is on a little armature right here that's going to let you bring it forward. You do kind of want to leave that up a little bit, and there is a slot and a tab right there, little tab right there. That's going to go in there, and then there's a tab and a slot right there. Not sure how well you can see that. It's, right here. Yeah, that's gonna close up like that. Then you bring this piece the rest of the way down and tab it in. Then you bring the arm, and there's a little tab slot here, and that takes care of that. And we're just gonna rinse and repeat for the other leg. Untop that, pull that out, bring this around. We do want to ensure that we fold this up the right way, fold in that heel, open up the shin, fold away the foot, close it back up, and then you can see there are tabs and slots on his shin and kneecap, and that will bring these parts together. Then again we bring this around and tab it in down here, and then tab it in up here, fold this down, get that into place, then tab in that arm. Oh, before I forget, do want to, where is it, put the other one of these in here. And the gun can also store, as you can see, there is a port there on either side, and you can just slide the gun in right there. So you have your weapon storage. And now we want to come grab the big old gun, and we're just going to put that back the way it was. Fold down the handle, fold away the support, bring this down, fold this over, bring these two parts back, and they do tab in here and up here. So just tab those back together, push this in, what is there hold on, is there oh, that's why there's this little clip here. Now we put these in, and that'll lock it all together. Then we can just extend the trunk, and we're just going to go ahead and, again, you're going to peg it on here and here, and then you're just going to kind of press that down, and you can see there are several tabs and slots along the side, and do it again on this side. And we do get a couple up here on the head. Just make sure you push that all together. Fold out his big old mammoth ears, and there you go. You have Big Convoy in his mammoth mode. And yeah, I do dig it. I do dig it. And again, these are on 5mm pegs. Again, I wish the peg was actually on the tusk itself, so that like you could use them as handheld. It's there. It's a thing. And you do get a little bit of articulation in this mode. The ears move back and forth on a hinge. You do get back and forth at this leg, and then the trunk is articulated with a hinge, hinge, and hinge here. So you get about, yeah, again, you can fold it all the way up, and it'll go that far back. So there's that. And you do see some robot underneath. That is, true, but I mean, that's also true of the original. So, and speaking of the original, here is a size comparison. He is definitely a bit smaller than the OG, but that's pretty much true for everything these days. But again, like you can see the gaps here. This doesn't really hold on. This doesn't really want to stay put. So yeah, he holds together a lot better than the original. So I do strongly prefer the new one, but the old one is still decent, and he still got features that the new one doesn't, like the tusks and moving the nose. But yeah, overall, I do prefer the new one. Um, but they do look good. They do look good, both of them. So, and for a couple more quick comparisons, here he is with Nemesis Primal. So you can see how they stack up in beast mode. And here we have the MP Beast Wars Megatron. So you can see how he stacks up against something high end. But yeah, overall, I really do dig this figure. I'm looking forward to the DNA kit that'll give him his big Matrix Buster cannon. And yeah, overall, I really do like how well this one holds together. He is very sturdy, and he does have a nice bit of heft to him. He is a leader class, so that's something I look forward to with something that large and pricey. Let's see. Well, and the fur texture, I really do like how they did. I will say I do think they did the fur texture a little better on the old one. It does feel a little bit more smooth, but maybe that's kind of weird considering it was probably a very rugged animal. I mean, have you ever seen a wild animal with smooth, silky fur? Is there anything else to say? Not too much, I don't think. But yeah, I really do enjoy this figure. Yeah, really my only issues are I do wish that this big chunk held on a little better in robot mode. And it sometimes does make him fall over. It does make him back heavy when it's stored on his back. And then yeah, just the tonfas in the arms are a little bit smaller than I would like, but I feel I'm pretty sure a lot of people have mentioned that. But they had to make them fit inside the arms, so could only be so long. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this figure. I really do dig him, and I really like that we are getting more of the Japanese Beast Wars figures too as well. And even though we're kind of getting a low bar for the 30th Beast Wars anniversary this year, which I mean, I'm not alone in saying that they really should be doing a lot more for that. It literally saved their butts. But I'm glad we're at least getting some stuff, and that they're expanding into a lot of the Japanese Beast Wars, because they got, I think it was both Beast Wars Second and Beast Wars Neo. So they got two more Beast Wars shows than we did. Or I don't remember if they got Beast Machines or not, but I wouldn't really consider that a win. So yeah, glad to see more of these figures. I'll leave it there. And I will say that I really do like the elephant for Optimus Prime's alt mode. I know it's not Optimus, but it's Optimus. It is a Optimus adjacent character because the gorilla is fine, but again, it's really not the most interesting of alt modes because it's a humanoid figure to a humanoid figure. There's not a ton you can do with that transformation. But then again, that is kind of why he ended up with a lot more gimmicks, I feel, than even some of his counterparts at the time did. Because he had, the jetpack, the missiles, he had the cannons in his arms, he had that big skull mace, he had the swords. So they, I guess it left them more room to give him a bunch of features. But yeah, and then a lion, if you know anything about actual lions, you'll understand why I don't think that's a good fit for Optimus Prime. But yeah, mammoths, which are very similar to elephants, I think is a good fit because of how elephants are often gentle giants and very intelligent animals, all things considered. So I do think that's a good fit for him. I mean, obviously, elephants and mammoths aren't the same thing, but I think the theme that it draws in is very good. I mean, I guess you could say the same about the lion, but again, I know how actual, real lions are, and it's not what you think. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough, so I think I'll go ahead and say that I recommend this figure. I really do enjoy it. And I think that's all there is to say. So this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.